Hi everyone, welcome back to my art channel. Today I'll be showing you a step-by-step guide on how I painted this deer antler that I found at a flea market. This is basically going to be a tutorial on how to paint any object that you want, and I'll be explaining to you exactly how you can do that in this video. So let's get ready and let's get to it. So we first start by prepping our surface. For this, I'm using gesso paint to prime my object. This helps the paint to stick on better to the surface. Usually you'll have to sand your surface first before priming it, but for this horn I don't have to. You can pick any object that you want to paint on, like for instance a vase, a chair, a closet, anything that you want. I start by adding my first layer of gesso. I wait for it to dry and then I add 2 to 3 more layers. While I'm working on this new art piece, my sister from another mister, Agnia, is filming my process for a documentary that she's doing about me and her. It's a documentary about both our artistic passions, how we both deal with severe anxiety, and how we help each other through that. I'll be explaining more about this documentary in future videos. I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Make sure to check out her YouTube channel as well, link is in my description. Now, we're finally done painting the base layer and it's time to start painting. For the painting process, I'll be using golden acrylics. I really like the brand Golden Paints. They're very professional, good quality, thick and very colorful. As you can see, I didn't really sketch out a design on top of this, and that's because I'm basically freehanding this artwork, which means that I'm just painting as I'm going and I don't necessarily have a complete plan in my head. I'm just fully painting on intuition and feeling. I start off painting one of my classic fishes, and I slowly keep adding more and more. Here's a little montage of me painting. Enjoy! This is my first time painting an object that isn't necessarily flat. I've painted sculptures before, but this is very different. It definitely takes a little bit to get used to. You have to make sure to work around the crevices and bumps and little cracks and curves, but that just makes for a more interesting artwork. I started to get the hang of how to paint an object and I started to really just enjoy the process. I expected this to be much harder than it was, but it really isn't as scary as it seems to be. I really recommend trying to paint an object of your own. I find that painting an object really kind of just gives it a new life, so if there is anything that you might think about throwing out, maybe try painting it first and see how you feel about it afterwards. You'd be amazed and surprised at how you can bring something old back to life or give it a new vibe. I am finally done with the painting part. Now, all I have to do is add the liner. I'll be using a black and white Molotow marker for this process. Molotow markers are very great paint markers that help elevate your artwork to the next level. The thickness that I'll be using for this work is 1mm point tip. You can really get the fine details in with this one, so yeah, just sit back and enjoy this process. I do have to say that using a paint marker on a curved object definitely is a bit more challenging than working on a flat surface, of course. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but the moment I got the hang of it, I basically was on a roll. Okay, so we're finally done painting everything we wanted to paint on top of this horn. And now it's time to seal it in so that the artwork is protected and will preserve the colors and everything as best as possible. So yeah, let's get ready and seal it in. I put on some protective gear since we are working with toxic fumes. Make sure you spray in a well-ventilated area with the windows open or outside. I prepped my spraying area by putting some cardboard down where I can spray on. I'll be using acrylic satin varnish by the brand Amsterdam for this process. I add 1 to 2 layers and then I let it dry for a day. Now we are finally fully done with our art piece and it's time to admire it. This turned out much better than I could have ever expected it to. I expected this honestly to flop, but it all worked out in the end, and I didn't realize how much I would enjoy working on this type of surface. This really opens up a bunch of doors to new possibilities of having art in your environment. I never expected to ever paint horns, but now I have a need to do it more. What object would you like to paint on? Please let me know down in the comments below. Would love to hear what you're going to create and would love to hear what you think of this. So happy with how it turned out. Thank you for joining me on this artistic journey. So yeah, there you have it. We finally painted this deer antler and just filled it with a bunch of our art. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to paint objects and just put any art on it that you want to. Hope you enjoyed. Please let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this video and what you might like to see next. Make sure to subscribe for more art content, art inspiration, and art tutorials. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Stay creative and clean your paint water.